Hey guys, this is the Shot Clock here, and I'm back at it again with another video. This video is actually going to be talking about the Coach of the Year, and it's going to be my first vid in my NBA award series. So after the NBA stated that the following 8 games would bear no more impact within individual races, obviously thought it would be nice to make this series based off the 64 to 66 games each team got to play. But before I get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell to be alerted on future vids, and leave a comment if you'd like. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so the Coach of the Year usually goes to a coach who's made his best efforts and having an influence on creating a winning, determined culture within a team regardless of the adversity that's going on. We're going to take a look at some honorable mentions, starting off with Nate McMillan, who's led a Pacers team without Victor Oladipo for 80% of the season, and Billy Donovan for making the most out of a roster filled with guys who are either questioning on their place in the league and others who are young and had very little experience. Despite all of this, the Thunder are 5th seed right now, and I think he deserves huge credit. So shout out to those two guys, Nate McMillan and Billy Donovan. And honestly, you could add Rick Carlisle into the mix. He could get a nod for handling a historic offense in Dallas and an elite bench. He should also get credit for his handling of Luka Doncic. Then you have coaches like Monty Williams, who's made the Suns somewhat relevant. You could even make the argument for Kenny Atkinson, not having Durant, Kyrie, and LeVert only playing 69 games combined for the season. He kept the locker room together, stayed mentally strong. You could say he got fired, but at the same time, coaches like Dwayne Casey got fired 2 days after winning the Coach of the Year in 2018. You could also mention Doc Rivers, Brad Stevens, and more, but unfortunately, the ballot only includes 3 coaches. And here's how I personally rank the top 3 for Coach of the Year. So at number 3, we have Taylor Jenkins, who's been a massive overachiever this season for the Grizzlies. No one saw the Grizzlies having almost a 500 record while having the 8th seed in the wacky West. Actually, half the reason Memphis got the 35-year-old coach was to help them rebuild and not contend, as he would have time to learn the job. But little did Memphis know they were going to get hit with the reverse card, as they're now a playoff team currently. They got Ja Morant. They have so much young talent, a decent starting lineup of Valanciunas, Morant, Crowder, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Dillon Brooks, who actually outscored teams by 6.3 points in 100 possessions. Obviously, Crowder got traded at the trade deadline, but the sample size is still large enough. The bench was great too. A lot of this has to go back to Jenkins, who created lineups that posted positive net ratings, helped create a winning attitude, improved chemistry within the team, so that's why I think he finishes 3rd on my ballot. At number 2, we have to go to Mike Budenholzer. Did I say that right? I think I did. Oh well. Who won the award last year after coaching the Bucks to a 60-win season. This season, the Bucks have been even more impressive as they were on pace for 70 wins before the shutdown of the league. The Bucks had an all-time historic defense, and their paint protection was elite as was best in the league. They also have the best record in the league currently out of all teams in the East and West, and they outscored their opponents by an average of 11 points a game, which is crazy. Mike has had a phenomenal season coaching his team as he readies them up for award nightly, but unfortunately, there's only one real winner of the Coach of the Year. So let's give it up to Mr. Timeout in Game 5 of the 2019 Finals. Coach with the best sideline reaction memes. Alright, let's stop. I'm getting a bit cringy here. Let's be real. Congrats Nick Nurse on winning the Coach of the Year for the 2019-2020 NBA season. With Kawhi leaving in the offseason to join the Clippers, and with Danny Green leaving to the Lakers, people were very skeptical about of what the Raptors could still achieve, with some claiming they would be an 8th seed or not even make the playoffs. Toronto dealt with injuries as Toronto saw the top 6 returning members of its playoff rotation in Kyle Lowry, Siakam, Marc Gasol, Ibaka, Van Vliet, and Norman Powell all miss at least 10 games, often in a staggered way, which made things even worse. That really forced Nick Nurse to develop a bond with the brand new guys such as Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Terrence Davis, Chris Boucher, Matt Thomas, and to constantly scramble his lineups, rotations, substitution patterns, and schemes depending on who was available on a night-to-night basis. When Siakam was around, Nurse tossed him the keys, trusting the forward to continue his transformation into an all-NBA caliber player. When he wasn't, Nurse leaned on Lowry, the veteran leader and a consummate two-way playmaker, and trusted him to steer the ship and keep the young dudes afloat. No team, and I repeat, no team in the league threw more defensive concepts and executions at opponents than Nurse's Raptors, who ranked second in the league in defensive efficiency despite all those injuries and all those lineup changes, thanks in part to the constant pressure his schemes put on opposing offenses. I remember 2 games in particular against the Mavs where they used a high-skill box-and-one defense to come back in the second half of the game where they were down like 30 points. Nick Nurse could have easily put his bench players in, but that's not the type of philosophy he wants to have. If they go down, they knew they truly gave everything they had on the court. Also, against the Bucks, their defense was so suffocating, they seemed to neutralize Giannis again, but it was a shame on the game where they lost against the Bucks in their home court. They missed so many open looks. So when you add up all of this, and you add up the fact that the 2019-20 Raptors had a better winning percentage than last year's models, it really goes to show that Nick Nurse is the coach of the year. And there's honestly not as much competition for coach of the year other than him. So this is my coach of the year vid and the NBA award series. Stay tuned for my next award video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Remember to stay safe during these times, take proper precautions like wearing a mask, and just remember to remain selfless, as this world isn't about us or how we feel at times. Even if you don't feel like wearing a mask, just do it for the person down the street or the guy in the other aisle within the store. This virus will only stay as long as we as a society let it. So let's work together as one, because we're all in this together, and the virus will be long gone sooner rather than later if we work together. Anyway, I'm ranting too much. So this is the Shot Clock. I hope you liked the vid, and peace.